Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and in today's video, we're going to be revisiting secondary dominants, except this time, we're going to be using them as ways to change into a different key from the original that we're starting off the song in. Now, to begin with, if you're not familiar with secondary dominant chords, I did make a basic introduction / tutorial video on how they work, how to form them. I would highly recommend that you check that out prior to looking into this video, just so you have a good understanding and that the material will have a better chance of actually sticking with you. And real quick, if you are somebody who does enjoy these lessons and you want to see more of them on this channel, I ask you please to consider liking the video and to subscribing to the video, and also leave me a comment about what other ideas that you would like to see going forward. But for this specific video, I want you to think of the progression that we're going to be working with here as the verse, and then we're going to be changing the key into the chorus, and I'll show you how to work our way back to the original key afterwards. So we're starting off in the key of E major. So in the first half of that progression, we were in E major. However, we did use a secondary dominant, the C, to be able to get into F major for our chorus. And looking at the E major scale, it is clear F major is not a part of it. So the beauty of the secondary dominant in this kind of application is we can use it to modulate into a different key altogether. So knowing all of that, all we have to do then is find a place to throw in that C dominant seventh to be able to land at the F major for our key change. And we just use the transition from the A to the C7 right into the F. So by ending the progression with the 5 of the 2, we will be able to start off the next measure on the actual key change, which is the F major. And that is what makes this a little bit different than what we went over last time. So after that, we're going really basic again. We're just going to be playing F, D minor, G minor, and then what do you know? We're right back at a C7. And remember, the strength of any dominant chord and why it's such a powerful tool is because of the amount of pull that it has to bring you back to the tonic or the main root note of whatever key that you're playing in. In this case, that tonic of that C7 really pulls you back to the F major. So that's pretty cool, and in some circumstances, maybe you would want to just keep the song in F for the remainder of the song. However, what if you decided you only wanted that key change to happen for either a chorus or just one specific area of the composition, and you wanted to find your way back home to where you first started out at, which in this case was E major? Well, we have to reverse engineer it. We have to find the dominant chord of E. Now, just as a simple way of implementing our practice here, to find the dominant chord, again, you want to count up to the 5th note within that scale. So if we're in E, we know that the 6th string, when you just pluck it with nothing fretted, that's going to give you an E. And then we'll count up from there. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, which is going to be our 4th, B. We know that now. B is going to be our dominant chord. So how are we going to use it to get right back into the key? Let's go back to that chorus and I'll show you how, because obviously we're going to be having to play a B dominant 7th. And just like that, we were able to use secondary dominant chords to modulate into a different key for the chorus, and then use secondary dominant chords again to modulate back to the original key. Pretty cool stuff, and really it becomes limitless at this point. Sometimes a lot of bands that are quite technical, they'll do this multiple times in songs and it won't always stay in major keys. We could have just as easily done the same exact thing, except instead of landing on F major, landing on F minor, and then the chorus or the second part of this exercise would have been in the key of F minor. But that's going to be where we conclude today's video about how you can use secondary dominance to modulate into a different key within your songs or compositions. One piece of advice I would like to leave you with here: write things down on a piece of paper. Use it as a roadmap. You might find yourself looking at things differently if you know each scale degree, and the Roman numerals are also very, very, very vital to your understanding of the placements of where notes are within each exact key or mode that you're playing in. It's different than just sitting with your guitar and kind of jamming out, and you might find yourself just jamming out, quite frankly, and kind of getting away from what you're trying to do. So what I recommend as an exercise, take some of this information down, pick out a few keys, pick out some basic chord progressions, and try to see if you can write out how you would do something like this and implement it yourself. I find it's the best way to kind of really make any sort of lesson stick with me, at least. So maybe it could work for you. If you found this helpful, please consider hitting the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this lesson or what you would like to see going further as far as this kind of genre of YouTube video. And speaking of YouTube, it does help when you hit the subscribe button. I know. But don't forget to play your guitar, especially this is a lesson video. You better be playing your guitar after this one, and I'll be seeing you. Take it easy, everybody.